Hello, hello, hello. I am so glad to be here with you. I am here to talk about our health because let's pretend that your body, you treated your car like you treat your body. So let's just say you don't give it water, you run it all the time, you don't give it the right kind of gas. Maybe you find crappy gas. You don't put air in the tires. You just push push your car, push your car, push your car, and expect it to last you for a long time. So those of you who know that you don't really take care of your car and you see what's happening to your car, then just kind of look at your body. I was like that with my body, right? I was young, especially when you're young and you're in your 20s and your 30s and even in your 40s, you just feel like you're invincible. You feel like you are unstoppable and that you feel like no one can stop you and that you won't get sick and you'll live forever and you could do whatever you want to do and you have your goals or whatever it is you have. And then you get a wake up call. And so, we kind of, as we grow up, we kind of say, oh, well, maybe all my dreams won't come true. I do have to compromise some. But what we do want to know is that without mental, emotional, and physical health, all bets are off. Nothing happens. Nothing happens. You can't achieve your goals. You can't just do the mundane and normal things without your health. And so push myself, and you use a lot of adrenaline, because if you're not really getting the right kind of rest or nutrition or eating right, you just are just an engine, the engine that you're up the mountain, you do everything and all those things. And then one day my body broke down. And how my body began to break down was I needed to have a surgery. And then when they went to do the surgery, they realized that I had a thyroid condition that I didn't even know. I didn't know I had it's called Graves' disease. For anyone who's remembered, Barbara Bush had that same thing. It's called Hashimoto's, I think. And so they, had to control that before the surgery. And then they did the surgery. And then after the surgery, they made a mistake and they stitched, is a female surgery, so they stitched one of my ureters shut. And so then all of a sudden my body started storing poisons and I was undiagnosed for a month. I was in and out the hospital. Well, my whole body went haywire after that. And so these are the things that happened to me, so long story short. Okay, so I had the surgery. I almost died. I finally, after all the poisoning, and then my Graves' disease attached to my eyes. So my eyes, this is what Barbara Bush had, is my eyes bulged out of my head, and they were pushing on my nerves. So I was getting ready to go blind. And then they had to have a surgery to enlarge my eye sockets. And when they did that, I was cross-eyed. So one eye was on my inside of my eye, and I had to wear bottle cap glasses. These are glasses. These are like my reading glasses, but I have other glasses too. But I had to wear like these really thick, like the bottoms of Coke bottles is what they used to say. And it was because I had to wear prisms because that was the only way I can see. So then they had to remove my thyroid. And then after that, I had really high blood pressure. I had asthma. Then, I was a runner. And so I'd ruined my knees. So anyway, my body was a mess. And I remember I had a doctor friend, and there I was walking around. I was on steroids, so I blew up, and I felt too embarrassed. I felt embarrassed to even walk out the door. That's how bad it was. And I was like, I hope no one sees me. I just felt look bad. I feel bad. And so this woman, and she was a doctor, and she was in like one of my support groups, and she said, Pamela, there's so many things that can be done. And one day you're not going to even remember how you look now. You're gonna get your looks back. Because that was like, I lost my looks, I lost my health, I lost my energy. and I had actually moved from um, from California to Florida where I had no business. So it was just like my whole life was like over. I felt like my life was over. So if how I how I recovered. Okay, so now, here today, I'm 75 years old. I am in better health than I've ever been in my entire life. I have more energy. I feel good. I go to Pilates every day. I join the gym. I have a Nordic track bike. I eat right. I mean, I feel great. I mean, I feel much better than I felt when I was in my 40s, to be honest. So I want you, this is what I would suggest for you, is start to treat your body like it's a bank account. So, if you withdraw and you withdraw and you withdraw and you withdraw, then, you run out of money, right? So let's say if you're withdrawing like no sleep, if you're not getting enough sleep, then that's a withdrawal. It's like for many times, it's like, oh, I don't need much sleep. I only need 5 hours worth of sleep. Well, there was a toll on my body. Um, I ate a lot of crap. If you eat a lot of crap, a lot of carbs, a lot of sugar or whatever, and if you smoke or drink, then that's, really going to take you down the tubes. By the time you're, in your 50s, 60s, you're going to start having problems if you're not exercising. And, I know a lot of us don't exercise, but I'll tell you the difference. And I've exercised and I'm not exercised. And the energy level you have by investing that time to exercise makes all the difference. I mean, you cannot not exercise. However you do it. I do Pilates. I used to, have personal trainers and work at the gym and lift weights and do all this stuff. And now it's like I go to Pilates and I do exercise, I do cardio, but I don't hurt my body anymore. It used to be when we were going like no pain, no gain. Well, then you get old and your knees are bad, your back is bad. And then let's see, a mattress. You really want to change your mattress, every 7 to 10 years, because we spend more time in bed than we spend anywhere. So we're spending, 5, 7, 8 hours a day. You're spending more time in the bed than anywhere else over the years. So you want to make sure you have a good mattress. And you want to don't go get checkups. Go get your annual checkup, because if you get your annual checkup, the doctor's going to be able to flag things. My doctor, I love my doctor. My doctor started. He's a in primary physician, but he also got into health and nutrition. So I actually go in once a year and he does my blood work. He knows everything about what I'm allergic to, whether I'm low on vitamin D or vitamin C. He does this whole panel. And, it is worth finding out exactly what's going on with your body so that like if you're in the car, and you have a car, we use the car analogy. You have your car, you want to know if your car is, going to be running, blowing a gasket or something. You want to know ahead of time instead of after the fact. Too many of us don't make that time, energy, and investment to go see the doctor. And while you're at it, go to the dentist also. So many people have gum disease, and that really contributes to your heart trouble because you have these poisons that are in your mouth. So, gum health and flossing and brushing and going to the dentist for checkups makes all the difference. It's so many people that are in their 50s and 60s, whatever, you lose all their teeth or whatever, or have bad teeth or have bad teeth problems. You can't think and concentrate if you're having toothaches. So make it a point to get the checkup. Make sure you go to the dentist, get your dental checkup. And then mental health. Mental health is, I mean, I'm what you call an empath, okay? So I'm very affected by my environment around me. Just kind of an admission that yesterday I was talking to a friend of mine, and there was a gentleman who used to be a coach of mine, who was very good at statistics and trying to help you figure out, your metrics and all of that. And so I worked with him for a couple of months to kind of get my business on metrics. I found out yesterday that he had killed himself. And it just floored me. And then another group, they were saying that someone in Canada that had killed their landlord and killed themselves. Violence. I'm so sensitive to violence. I cannot take a steady diet of it. It affects my mental health. If you're able to do that, if you're able to watch a steady diet of violent TV shows and violent news and violent this and that, go for it. And if it doesn't affect you, it affects me and it affects a lot of people. And so I protect my brain because I know that if I'm going to be available, and what I do is I coach lawyers, I I need to be in a frame of mind so that I have a positive outlook, that I can be there for them 100%, that I can listen. I'm not like distracted. And I can't do that if I'm all messed up from watching violent TV shows or whatever. And so I really, don't. I have no diet for that, for news and all that stuff. But if you are, good for you, make sure you monitor it. And also, on your devices, that can just eat up your time and you have no energy. I bet you if you say, oh, I don't have time to work out, if you took half of the time you spent on your device and went for a walk, you'd get in your exercise. Now, stress is another thing. As lawyers, specifically, is who's my audience, stress is like an everyday event. But you can pile stress on and pile stress on and pile stress on and pile stress on until you crack or you burn out, or you can find ways to monitor your stress. So you want to monitor your stress. How do you do it? Pamela, how do I monitor my stress when I work in a crazy law office and there's all these demands or whatever? First of all, is you have to spend downtime. You have to spend time, you know, lawyers are the worst, but meditation, if you were able to spend 10 minutes of downtime, even if you can't meditate, if you could spend 10 minutes to get your brain right, to listen to some music, listen to your favorite music, listen to rock music, whatever brings you down. Don't allow the stress to escalate and escalate, escalate, because you have control of that, because you can make time for yourself, make downtime, read books, whatever it is that will bring you down so that you are not in this heightened state all the time, because it will definitely affect your health. So we're coming to the end here. So I made a little list here on my board. I hope you can see it. So the first thing is back, and I added sleep because you're back. I have had to be carried on a stretcher to the emergency room at Mayo because my back was so bad. I really, really, really protect my back. And how you do that is you strengthen your core, something like Pilates, yoga, sit-ups, but don't hurt your back doing it. Do something to get your core strong so that your back, watch your posture. Those are things you want to be careful of. Let's see, we're at 13 minutes. Your knees, oh, that's a terrible thing. Take care of your knees. If don't pound the pavement. If you run, do the things that will protect your knees. Stretch, buy new shoes. Take care of your knees, because once your knees are gone, you have to get a replacement, and it's horrible. Checkups, we talked about that. Exercise, we talked about that. Food and water. I'm a fanatic. One of the biggest things that helped me get healthy was I decided to change how I eat. So that's what I do. I eat very healthy. I'm extreme because I'm like a vegetarian, and I'm allergic to gluten, and I love sugar and sweets and all of that, but it's just addictive to me, and I don't drink either. But so just moderation. Drink water. Even if you do a lot of things, even if you do that, drink water. I have a friend, and all he drinks is Coca-Cola and Pepsi. I'm like, when do you drink water? Our bodies are 75% water. Our brains are mostly water. If we don't drink water, we are not going to function the way we want to. And then the bonus is mental health. Mental health, however you do it, whether you have a coach, whether you have a mentor, whether you have a support group, whether you have your faith, whether you have, and I think you need to have a bunch of things, not just one thing. So I think if you have your mental health, You're on and you're right. And we're right at the time. Thank you for joining me, and we will see you next week.